A quick video today looking at whether the moment lenses work with the 14 Pro Max. So there's been some debate about whether or not the moment lenses work with the 14 Pro Max, and I've seen comments on my channel and on Moment's channel saying they don't. Now Moment put out a video showing that the lenses do work, but then on Reddit you have people saying they don't work. So which is it? I've been waiting to get a Moment case, and as a matter of fact, at the time of this video, I still don't have a Moment case, but I did get this. Yep, it's the small rig iPhone cage for the 14 Pro Max. We're gonna look at the Telephoto, the 58mm, the wide 18mm, and they're 1.33 times anamorphic. And for this test, I'm using the Cinema P3 camera app. First up, no lens on here at all to show a baseline. Now this is the 18mm. .58mm. And now this is the anamorphic, the 1.33x. One really cool thing that the 14 Pro Max has is the 48 megapixel sensor, and allows you to do a 2x crop, a 2x telephoto. And so you can obviously put the lens on the main camera now and do a digital zoom into that. So that's the 2x using the 18. Using the 48mm 2x lens with the 58mm. So essentially it's a 4x. Now that's the 2x lens using the anamorphic. Now, what about using the 3x tele? And now here is the anamorphic on the 3x lens. Now we'll look at the 58mm on the 3x tele. The 58mm did not work well at all on the 13 Pro Max. So this is the 58mm on the 3x lens. So what do you think? Do they work? I think yes and no. For example, look at this B-roll I shot here. This on the 18mm, shooting on the standard wide, and it looks good. I'm not really seeing any chromatic aberration or any edge softness. Now there is a little bit of distortion, more so than used to be, but that's because of the new 24mm lens on the iPhone 14 Pro Max. And here's the 58mm, kind of the same story. Looks pretty good to me on a general shot here, again, using the standard wide. And again, I would say the same thing with the anamorphic here. Overall, it looks pretty solid. There may be a little bit of edge softness going on. That's not unusual with these kind of lenses though. but it's pretty minimal. There is some subtle vignetting going on, but that is usually because of the stabilization, the way the image almost floats around. So overall, these shots look good. But if we go back and look at the shots with the trees with a little more detail in the image, here's the 18mm, and the edges do get kind of weird. There's some fringing and a little bit of ghosting, but when you pop in with the 2X, it looks pretty good. And that would be approximately a 36mm equivalent, which is something we really haven't had on an iPhone before. And then the 58mm on the standard wide, it looks pretty good. There may be a little bit of edge softness going on. You can see the leaves on the side, especially the left side, but all things considered, it's not too bad. But when you push in using the 2X lens in this shot, things look a little different. Definitely some softness going on. It almost looks like depth of field because the right side of the image or the middle of the image is sharper, but I think it's probably a little bit of both. And then on the anamorphic, again, look to the left side, the top left side, you can see what looks like a little bit of smearing there, edge softness. And then going in on the 2X, everything looks really good. And I really do like that using the anamorphic. And then I was surprised to see how good the anamorphic looked on the 3X Tele, but the 58mm I think I would avoid on the 3X because it looks soft. So that's why I say it's a yes and no whether these lenses work with the 14 Pro Max. They all do technically work, but some work better than others, and especially some work better in the different configurations. Now I just got this cage and haven't done extensive shooting with this yet, and so I will be doing more of that in the coming months. But I am glad to see with my own eyes that the Moment lenses do work with the 14 Pro Max, just not in every situation.